Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Patriot 5 along with Patriot 6. And we got Betty Woods, Papa G, Janet, David, Stephanie, Myrna. Who else we got? Cindy. And I know there's more here. I've seen them earlier, but they're not showing up right now, so I'll have to wait until some comes up. I've already said Janet and Jeffrey. But anyway, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Eileen. Happy birthday to you. I hope everyone wished Eileen a happy birthday today. We have 28 people on with 11 thumbs up. Well, we're going to have a show tonight. I don't know what, but got some things I want to talk about, which, you know me, I can always talk. Went back to my patriotic shirt and my patriotic hat because I think this is going to be a patriotic week. I don't know why, but I just have that feeling. Right, Tony? Right, David Duffy and Maria? There we go. Janet's getting the happy birthdays to Eileen going. But anyway, I'm gonna say the pledge, and then I'm gonna play the music. I'll be right back, and then we're gonna get into the show, talk to the kids a little bit, and move forward. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I'd rather stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. Next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Yes, God bless the USA. Proud to be an American. How many can actually say they're proud to be an American? I can. But before I get into the kids thing, I'm going to just talk a little bit here, Cindy, little Betty Woods and Soretta. Cindy and David and Maria and Myrna. I'm just going to talk a little bit about being proud to be an American before I go into the kids segment. Because see, if you listen to that song, yes, if he could go back for all the men who gave their lives, he would change that in a heartbeat. He would change it to all that lost their lives. But you have to remember, at certain times, women didn't serve big roles in the military. But now they do. But let's do it the right way, women. And I'm not going to sit here and cut down women right now. But if you're proud to be an American, don't go on social media. Don't go on social media and say, if you get offended by the way I talk about DJT, then get off my page or follow me and I'll follow you back. And I go to hit the follow button. I said, let's check something out. Let's check her page. And these women that are dressed up in all of these Army uniforms, and these women are models. They may be AI generated. I don't know. But these women are too beautiful to look real. That's how amazing they are. And then you click on their picture and you go to their page and they have 14,297 followers and following none. Wow. Talk about not being offended. Wow. All they're after is the followers. I guess you make money if you got a lot of followers. I don't know. Maybe it's an ego trip. But let's put America back first. Let's get away from all of this crap on these social medias. I am so sick and tired of going to social media site and man, I want to be your friend. Okay. What do? Can you read? It says right here, I'm here to promote patriotism. Well, how much money do you make? What the hell business is it of yours? How much money I make? I don't make nothing in this. But I worked hard to have a pension coming in two different ways, from the state and from a place I worked. It's nobody's business how much money I make. How old are you? Do you want to be my friend? I'm not an open book, guys. I'm not going to give personal information out to every Tom, Dick, and Larry. It just upsets me. You say you're proud to be an American, or my favorites, guys. My favorites, and I'm on a roll here right now. My favorites is the people. I can't live in this country no more. I hate this country. I'm going out. I'm moving out and never coming back. Well, don't let the door hit you in the rear end. Go. You know what? I'm sure that if you talk to enough people, there's enough people that would drive you free to get you to the airport, to get you on the plane. They might even take up a collection to put you people on there. But see, the whole thing is you're leaving America. You are. These people are not lying. There's a degenerate person, and that's her name. I just talked to Ron about what she did, and she's leaving America. You better believe it. But it ain't on her free will. It's not on her free will. She going someplace and she ain't never coming back. And if they show the video and tell what this lady did, guys, it's going to make you sick. But there's these people out there that are terrible. But I'm leaving America. Yeah, you are. A lot of them are going to, 600,000 indictments of people that's going to be leaving America. But that isn't even my point. My point here is, Cindy and Maria and Stephanie, my point here is we live, even though we're having some rough times, even though our president wants to come on and he's going to do a State of the Union and he's going to talk about prices being down and down and down, then why can't a senior citizen afford to go out and get something to eat? Why can't we afford to go to a place? My daughter-in-law, who there's no love lost there. I put up with her. I get along with her. She's okay. But she posted something the other day about this little fast food restaurant. This is a fast food restaurant. When me and Ron used to go out, we went there a lot. I think a lot of the reason we went there, it was a different name before, but it was where my mom used to really love to eat. So we would go there and eat, I think, just for the memory. But they had great food. Wingdings. 8 wingdings, fries, more fries than you could eat. a coleslaw and a roll, $6.99. But then that thing hit in 2000, that artificial made up sickness. Common flu is what it was, but they called it something else so the doctors could get super rich and get super rich and get super rich. Pardon? And all of a sudden the prices in this restaurant went up. The same 8-piece wing ding dinner with the fries that you can't eat all of them, the coleslaw and the roll. It went from $6.99 to $12.99, plus they cut it down to 6 wing dings. Their prices are off the. It costs more to go to that fast food restaurant than it costs to go to a regular restaurant. It's ridiculous. But we will hear, I think it's Wednesday night in the State of the Union. Tuesday night, Ron says. We will hear, won't we, Robert? Good to see you here, buddy. John, good to see you, John. We will hear come tomorrow night how things are down. He promised us gas prices under $2 every place by the end of his first year. Well, come and gone. And I want to talk about Ronnie, not my brother Ron. Ronnie, who posts tremendous things on our Telegram page. And Ronnie came up with a post today, and I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to read it. It was long. But the gist of it is, he said, we're almost there. Nothing can stop us now. The green light has been given. The big N and big G has been implemented. The redemption centers are full of money. The banks have the new currency. And he's going on and on saying all this stuff, and it's not him. He posted it from someone else. And he posted all this, and you're reading it. And the gist of it is, they said that 2 years ago. They said it a year ago. How many times are we going to have Christmas in July to not have Christmas in July? How many times is it going to go by and we're not going to get it? How many times are we going to be lied to that the man is the smartest man in the world? If he was playing chess against 10 of the greatest chess players in the world, or 10 of these people in the world, if he was playing, he would be 10 moves ahead. The thing of it is, Expert 1871 and David and Robert and Papa G, is Eileen on? Did she hear me sing happy birthday? The thing of it is, we're not playing chess. We're playing with people's lives and our country's lives. And yet we're still the greatest country in the world. I'm just sick and tired of the lies. So is Ronnie. So is so many people. But we're going to take care of them lies this month or early next month. And I truthfully believe that. I would not say it if I didn't believe it. I believe we're this close. And how long will it take us to get this close? Very soon. One of the things I felt really had to happen. Two things. One was the guy in Iraq. I heard through the grapevines. Yes, I heard through the grapevines, and I seen it on 2 or 3 different places that he has been replaced. He's gone. That was the number 1 block. The number 2 block, and there was a lot more. I said 1 or 2, but the number 2 block was IRAN. We had to take care of them. Well, if you listen to Sky Prince the other day, it's done. Everything is done. The 3rd block is Ukraine and Russia. Everybody is saying it's already signed. They just don't want to come out with it yet. And see, this one there is my favorite one, because when I wrote Julia and we wrote Masha, her friend too, when we wrote them, these girls literally sat there at the computers crying, tears of happiness and joy. How many here, Bill Woods and Beth Shaw and Stephanie Shrout? How many Expert 1871 and David Duffy and Papa G and Tony? How many of you people have literally sat around and been so happy that you had to be consoled for crying with tears of joy? John, would you say that's not one of the happiest things in the world? A family who has 2 children. What do you want to do when the war ends? I want to eat all the ice cream I can have, or I want to go to the sea. He wants to go to the beach at the sea just to go there because that's what him and mom and grandma and Aunt Julia and his sister always did. When I first started writing, Julia, 7 years ago, everything was about going on the weekend in the summer to the beach at the sea. And I said, you know, it's funny how things go. I've been in lakes. I've been in rivers. I've been in oceans. I've been in almost creeks. I've been in almost every body of water, but I've never been in a sea. And that's the only one they've ever been in. But what I'm saying is the things that have to happen supposedly are done. GITMO is filling up. Wow. Can you imagine getting a one-way ticket or seeing someone gets a one-way ticket? John, Soretta, can you imagine someone getting a one-way ticket and how happy we're going to be? I used to not believe in things like that. I believed everybody had the right, but these people don't. They don't. They have been judged already. They have been jured already. They're just going there for formalities. Some of them will get lucky and they'll never get out of the bars. They'll be in a little bitty place with a bucket that they can go to the bathroom in, that they might, if they're lucky, change it once every month. Because that's what they deserve. They're animals. They're animalistic. And it's terrible. It's terrible, Myrna. But that's the world we lived in. Today, and I'm going to share this story here because to me it's an important story. Today I talked to a gentleman on the phone. He's a gentleman that is 70 years old. He's 2 years younger than me. But his mom and my mom used to be best friends. He lives right out Ron's front door across the yard, and their yards adjoin. Ron and my mom and myself, my brother Russ, we bought this property from his mom so we could move in here, and my mom could be his mom's next door neighbor. They give us a price that was unbelievable just because they wanted us here. A tremendous family. The mom is gone. His 2 sisters is gone. His dad is gone. He's the last one of the family. But he's been in a nursing home for quite some time. But I talked to him today on the phone for what, about an hour, Ron?
Oh, God, yeah.
Maybe more. And he finally listened. When I talked to this man about the beds, and he don't know if he's even going to have a house if he can get on the beds. And I told him, you're going to be working projects with us. You're going to be working projects with us, so you're going to get on his bed first. And when I go, and you're going to be able to go too, they'll come and they'll get you and they'll take you. But you won't be hooked up to all of these wires and that. They'll put you in this bed and they'll diagnose you, and you'll tell them what changes you want and what that you don't. The weight you want to lose, you're at a good height. You'll want to stay there. They'll fix everything that ails you, ills you, whatever. They'll fix everything. And you'll walk out of there. You'll walk out of there with no thing. You'll walk out of there a man that can live again, a man that can live a long, long time, because you'll also be able to get on that magic other bed, that one that will let you live a long, long time. And I didn't go into a lot of detail with him there, but he will. For the first time since he's been in this nursing home, he listened to me. And I could hear excitement in his voice. And just before we did the show tonight, Ron looked at me and says, well, that was really nice talking to him today. This man has been a friend of ours since he went to actually before, but he was 2 years behind me. So I was in 3rd grade when he was in 1st. His mother would walk him down to the end of the block and then 3.5 blocks down to the school, walk him right to the school door, let him go to school. And then she would walk across the schoolyard and come to my mom's house, my house. And they would sit there and drink coffee, or they would go shopping, or they would do whatever they needed to do. As he told me today, when they came down here, he didn't just have his mom. He had his mom and 2 other mothers down there, because that's how we were. We talked about his house, about the basement is legendary when Ron and Russ and his sisters and other people, and we named all of the kids, and even me and him got to go, even though we were younger. They would have parties. And you know what their parties consist of? A transistor radio to play music, dancing, standing around drinking a Pepsi, maybe having a bag of peanuts or some chips. It cost hardly nothing, because back then you could get a bottle of Pepsi for a nickel or a dime, a bag of peanuts for a nickel, some chips. It was just friends hanging out with friends, not worrying about what's going on in the world. It wasn't computers. It wasn't TVs. It wasn't anything like that. It was a transistor radio. Listen to 89 WLS, Dick Biondi. Yeah. And them were the days, Stephanie. Them were the days, Expert and Beth Shaw, David Duffy, Papa G. What is that? Lynn Daytrick or something? Yeah, them were the days. And I wanted to bring them up, guys, because we are this close to having these days again. This wars had to end. This other stuff had to end. There's going to be major arrests. And how many times have we heard that, John? John, how many times have we heard about the special beds, like you said? How many times have we heard that we're right there? But see, it's got to go. Someone sent me a message today. I believe it was Savior. And when I looked at it, it says, Donald Trump said he hasn't long to live. Now, yes, I'm not supposed to say his name, Virginia, but you know what? I don't know what's right and what's wrong right now. I don't know that the man that we consider the greatest president in the world, you hear one report that he's well protected and everything's going to be fine, and then you hear another point that he's just a pawn. You know, who will really take over? Will it be Junior or will it be Senior? Why was Mr. the Hat even brought into the picture? Why do we say that God chose him? Why would God chose him? Is he the second coming of Jesus Christ and he's going to sacrifice another son? We don't know this. These are questions that we have to ask, Cindy. These are questions that we need answers to, and I think we're real close to getting them. Now, I'm going to go and do the kids section. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to talk about some other things. And I'm telling you right now, what I just talked about there, it all came into me when I read Ronnie's report. I've got Restored Republic to read. I've got something from Mark Z that was very interesting today to read. Whether you like him or you don't like him, Mark Z comes up with some decent information. Do I like the way Mark Z has done things? No. Do I like the way Bruce has done things? No. I praised Sky Prince the other day. I thought that was the best video she ever had. And she follows it up with a video that she's been told not to talk no more. Why is it them people in Australia, they keep telling us that we're right there within 24 or 48 hours. Her and her partner down there, we're always within 24 hours. 24 hours passes and nothing happens. And then one of them's under an NDA and the other one's been told not to talk. Why, if we have freedom of speech, can someone be told not to talk? Why did they come out and ask us to open up, to ask people to start doing shows like I'm doing now? When David Rodriguez and Juan O'Savin, when they came back from that meeting that one day, I think it was in Texas, when they came back and they were so joyous and they said, we need more people to spread the word. Right after that, Mr. Pillow, he had a video and he explained everything he went through, but he went on to do great things because he had the determination to not give in, not give up, and not surrender or comply. And I said, I can do that. What he went through, what Mr. Pillow went through, guys, was self-inflicted. It was self-inflicted in a way that he did it. But he was man enough And he had help from one of the guys that helped him get that way, a seller, a dealer. The dealer refused and made everybody refuse to give him that because the dealer seen what he could accomplish. And he become partners with this dealer, not in that particular thing, but in Mr. Pillow. And he made 20 different people multimillionaires. And if he can do it, why can't I? Now, I'm not here to aim to make people millionaires. I'm here to show people if he can do it, I can do it. And that day, I accepted the challenge. I accepted the challenge and I sat down and I did a video and I sent it out to 12 people. Myrna, I think you was one of them, wasn't you? And I don't know where I got your name or someone sent it to you, but the 12 people and Ron was one. And the only thing I asked that day on March 5th, 6 years ago, this March 5th, the only thing I asked was, God, if I can touch one person through this, it's a complete success. And the one person I wanted to touch was my brother Ron. And then we eventually become partners. That 12 people who passed it on to others, who passed it on to others, who passed it on to others, at one time grew to over 36,000 members. Yes, we're slower now, One Voice. We're slower now, Kevin and Sarah. We don't have as many, but we are family. And you think of the song, We Are Family, and that's what we are. And that's how we're going to move forward. That's how we're going to keep our vibrations up. You know, people say you have to be 5D to get in these special beds, John. Or Linda Patrick, is it? No. Linda Date, whatever. Went too fast. But you have to be 5D. I do not believe that. And I'm going to tell you why. Can you please tell me how a child that was abused and taken care of and just torn apart, how could they be 5D, but yet these kids are now out living normal lives? How can people who go into a war for the last 2 to 3, 4 years, that their main goal was to see how many of the enemy they could take out, how do people like that come in at 5D? How does someone that preaches that you have to be at 5D come and say, as soon as I get on this bed, I'm done with them? I'm done with people taking my stuff and taking credit for it. What does it matter who gets the credit? We are family. It doesn't matter. Who cares? Now, if they take shots at you, if they cut you down and you know they're lying, then that's the people you get mad at. But you don't take all this time, make all this money that you did, which I don't like, but you did it and it's up to you. You're the one that's got to face the final countdown. I don't care. But how can you be 5D if as soon as you tell the story, you say, I'm done with this because I don't want nothing to do with the people? Wow, is that 5D or not? It don't sound to me. So I really and truthfully, David Duffy and Virginia, I don't believe we have to be. I believe we have to keep our vibrations up. Who's to say what 5D is? We're just going to be there. But there's so many great things coming, guys. There's so many amazing things coming, Bobo. Oh my goodness, Janet. I can't believe some of the things that's going to happen when I read about these beds. And I had some test run on me last Friday. And in these tests, I had the sweetest, the most beautiful little nurse. And when I got done, I looked at her and I said, why did you decide to do this? And she didn't. She actually wanted to take x-rays, but there was a job open in this and she was qualified and she wanted a paycheck. She had bills to pay from college. Well, wait a minute. Why do you have bills from pay for college? I thought our president was going to wipe all that away. I thought that was in the making. But I didn't say that to her. And I said, how would you like to be rich someday? And she said, well, everybody wants to be. And the other nurse, the older one, she says, what do you mean, sir? And I told her about these beds. And then I opened up my phone and I showed them. And they said, wow, this is an amazing opportunity. Where do you find this? And I told them. They both looked at me and said, we're going to study this. And I said, I'd be willing to bet you $1 to a donut that in your hospital across the street, they're there. But they're hidden in plain sight. If someone happens to open the door and see them and they say, what are them? They make up an excuse for what they are. But on April 2nd, according to Sky Prince, these beds will be opened up to the world. When we go to the redemption centers, if you have Zim, they will be opened up to you. Then you can invite your family, friends, and people who's going to be working with you. And then them people can invite people who's going to be working with them. And it's going to be a snowball effect. The thing is, you have to sign an NDA because you're going to change. If I am right now 72 years old and I get on these beds and all of a sudden I come out and I'm 5'10", 170 pounds with a head full of hair, with everything that I want, the way I envisioned myself growing up as a kid. If I can do that, because they scan your body, they see what you want, they scan you, and then they put you in the scan and put you in the thing, and that's how you'll come out. But if I do that, how is people going to look at me? How is my brother and my sister-in-law, my sister, how is my kids going to look at me and say, what happened to you? I can't tell them. Now, Sky Prince says, what you need to do is you need to go and you need to get away for vacation for a couple of months. Because say we get in on March 1st, which would be my mother's birthday and Patriot Little Leona's birthday. I get in on March 1st and my whole life changes. Ron gets in and his whole life changes. I'm not going to tell people how it happened. They may see me. I'll stay away from as many as I can, but I'm not moving away. I'll sign an NDA, and anybody who asks me what happens, I'm going to hand them a piece of paper, and it says, I can't talk to you about this until April 2nd. I'm under an NDA. Please don't ask. And I hope and I pray, and if they ask, I just will not answer. But here's the thing. When you get in that bed and you go back in time, here's my question that I wanted to ask Sky Prince, and I hope that she sees this video or someone shares this with her or someone talks to her and they can ask her, why instead of taking people back in age, don't they just put them in the first bed? Why don't they get them all healthy? Why don't we get all healthy and we're feeling good and we have our hair, we want to look like we want to look, but I'm still 72 years old. I don't go back to where I'm 30. You won't forget any of your memories. Everything will be there. But instead of going back, just get us to where we feel great. And then on April 2nd, we go back in and we can do what we want to do. Why put people under this pressure? Who is going to notice if Ron is walking, if Ron is out getting in the car and going for trips with me? Who is going to notice that I am feeling great? Nobody, because people don't care. Jeffrey, Janet, they just don't care. We are patriots. We're supposed to be made fun of, but we're going to have the last laugh. We're going to be able to tell them, I told you so, Janet and Karen. Good to see you, Karen. Yes, Robert Ford. This is a man with so much dedication. He is 6 hours ahead of us, guys. We're sitting here right now. And what is it? 7:30 Central. He is 6 hours ahead of me. That means it's like, 1:30 in the morning, and he's dedicated. And if you watch Clint Home, he's here almost every night. And Robert, I seen just a little while ago, you sent me a message. I will answer it later. My phone, I've been on it so much today, guys. And I don't know where I'm going to go with this show, because, guys, what I'm telling you right now, I'm hoping you're listening, Jerry. I'm hoping you're listening, Kevin and Myrna, because with Robert here and the dedication he has, with Myrna here, Myrna is a senior citizen and still works every day. And you know what? If you need something, ask Myrna, because she'll be there. I'm telling you, she's a tremendous woman. I never, as Ron just said, I never have to worry, Janet or Bill, Clint Home. I never have to worry about missing a birthday, because see, Myrna lets me know every birthday, and I make sure that I try to make sure that if your birthday isn't on the night of the show, I sing it the next night. But on that birthday, when Myrna lets me know that it's Eileen's birthday today, I went in and I did on her Facebook page a very nice happy birthday. It wasn't your, I just got an emoji. I made something for her because she's special to us. She's family. And that's what family does. Family takes care of family. I can actually tell you right now that most of the people on this show right now, I'm closer to you than I am most of my family. My son lives in the same house as me and hasn't talked to me for 3 days. I don't know why. It's his decision. Sometimes when people get money, when sometimes get unexpected wealth, it goes to their head. It did my ex-wife. She didn't work for 20 years of our marriage. I worked my ass off for 20 years. And finally, a friend of ours said, "Hey, I can get your wife a job." Starts off about $85,000 to $90,000 a year. I said, "Well, if I say anything, she's not going to respond to you." So we made a plan. Call tonight at such and such a time. I'll answer the phone. The phone rang. I answered the phone. I said, "Cheryl, Kathy wants to talk to you." And she was a girl. Kathy was a girl that was my ex-wife's. She was a hero. She adored my ex-wife. She modeled, she took after her in every way. I'm serious. In every way. They played sports the same way. They was good in sports the same way. They both ended up marrying women. I'm sorry.
They were married to a man.
After they was happily married supposedly to a man. I had to say that. See, because guys tease me. Guys tease me about your wife left you for a woman. And I just tell them she couldn't handle me. I was too much man. And I've talked to Kathy's ex-husband, and I told him, he says, "How do you handle it, Ralph? You're always in such a good mood." I said, "When someone goes to get on you." My brother Russ is epic about once we have 4th of July or some family get together. He's epic about when we get a few fruit juices in us, maybe one too many. He's epic of, loose lips, and he talks and talks. And I don't care what he says about her. I don't care what he says about her as long as my kids and grandkids aren't around. But when my kids and grandkids are around, they're off limit to say things like that. And he got going one 4th of July and he said, "Yeah, he can turn them into lesbians." And I'm not cutting lesbians down because I think it's a beautiful thing. If two women can find love, it's beautiful. As long as you find love, there's only one thing I disagree with it. You guys all know that. There's two sexes, men and women. And they want to love and they want to love. I don't care. But this other thing, no. But anyway, he got going loose lips and he said something about that. And I just looked at him. I said, "Russ, I was too much man for her. She had to go to a woman." And that's my story, guys. And I'm sticking to it. Hello to little Jimmy. I'm going to talk to the kids. Jimmy, if you're watching this show, you're probably wondering, what is he talking about? Well, I'm talking about the new world that's coming, the God's on earth. And Jimmy, I've been talking to Julia. You know who she is. I've been talking to her. She literally cries tears of joy, of happiness because of this. We don't know what's going to happen, Jimmy, but I truthfully, and this is from me to you because I care so much for you. I truthfully believe when we go to this new world, I truthfully believe there's going to be a way down the line. It might not happen right away, but you will communicate with your mommy. And you will get to meet your baby sister. That is my opinion, guys. That is my opinion. And I wouldn't say this to Jimmy because I've said it to his dad. I've said it to his dad, and his dad goes, "Wow, you might be right." And that's how I feel, guys. I really believe, why would God change things all of a sudden? Why would he let all of this modern technology, why would he let this come out that we can live hundreds of years? That we can choose if we want to live or if we want to go and be with the people we've lost. But I truthfully believe no matter who it is we've lost, at some point, maybe once a year, maybe twice a year, but at some point, we're going to get to meet. I believe I'll talk to my mom and dad again. I really do. What do you think about that, Robert and Myrna and Jerry? Do you think I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? Or do you think that's a possibility, Bill Woods? It's my opinion. But Jimmy, I just wanted to give you that ray of hope, that ray of sunshine. Patriot 11, boy, I miss you. I can't wait for warmer weather to get here so grandma and grandpa come home. So grandma will start associating with me and keeping me update, sending me pictures of you. Patriot Karate Kid and Patriot Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Patriot Karate Kid, you're now doing wrestling. And way you sound, you had so much joy and happiness in your voice. And you folks, everybody here, Bill Woods and Jerry and Kevin and One Voice, it is so amazing when one of my kids take the time to come on and send me a birthday wish and say, happy birthday, Ralph. Happy birthday, Ralph. And say, you probably don't remember me, but I do remember you because Patriot Karate Kid, you have a voice that I'll never forget. And I look forward to the day that we meet and I can shake your hand man to man. But then as a man and a little boy, I can't wait till I can give you a hug and tell you what you mean to this group and this family. I can't wait to meet your mom and your dad and your brother, Wyatt Earp. And I know there's going to be questions. Wyatt Earp's going to say, why did you give me that name? Because it fits you. Because you are brave and courageous. You have to be to put up with your brother, Karate Kid. Patriot Princess, our queen, and Patriot Hunter. Patriot Princess, I was told by Julia, we're getting to a point, we're almost getting close to spring. And before I met her, Princess, I never, and Hunter, I never did look at spring the way she taught me. And what she taught me is spring is when all the trees start living again. All the flowers start living again. The grass comes green and it shows how beautiful our world is. Think of it. They start living again. They wake up from the dead. If that can happen, why can't everything happen waking up from the dead, Hunter? What do you think? I move forward to Boogs, Boogaloo, Boogaroo, and Boogie. The fortunate you are to have a grandpa like you do, a man who loves you, who's dedicated you, and will do anything the rest of your life. He will protect you and your family. Yeah. As he says, the beds, and when he gets on them. Can you imagine the energy he has now, the love he shows for you now? Kids, can you imagine what it's going to be like? Little Leona, can you imagine what great grandpa Mike's going to be when he gets completely taken care of? And kids, when I talk about these beds, I talk about them because so many people my age, so many people your age, kids, everybody needs these beds. This is a gift sent from God above. Little Leilani, think of it. Think of it when grandma wakes up, when she wakes up and says, hey, I miss my little Leilani. I'm going back home and living where I grew up. When she comes back home and she babysits you when mommy and daddy go someplace, think of how happy you're going to be. It's just totally amazing. I'm going to add the two new ones in. Patriot 17, who is Julia's nephew. Patriot Cutie Pie, who is Julia's niece. Masha is their mom. Think of, kids, how it's going to be when you come to the United States and we and Ron take you golfing, or we take you to a ball game, or we just take you over to the place where we like to go for the biggest, juiciest hamburger in the world. Think of how it's going to be when you can walk any place you want to walk. You can run any place you want to run. You can do whatever you want to do, kids, and you don't have to worry about soldiers because they won't be bothering you here. Just think about how it's going to be able to do things normally as a kid. When I had a grandson, Patriot Small Hank, look at me a while back, and he said, Grandpa Hank, how long did your mom and dad let you on a computer? How long did your mom and dad let you talk on a cell phone? How long did your mom and dad let you watch TV? Well, the TV is the only one that hit because there was no computers, was no cell phones. But we did get to watch TV after we had our baths at night, and we would sit down as a family. And, we watched as a family. During the week, we all got to pick shows that we liked, and we loved them as family. It didn't matter if you didn't like it. You didn't get to leave the room. You sat there and watched TV as a family. On Saturday night. What? On Saturday night, we watched Lawrence Welk. You know, I got to where I liked Lawrence Welk. I really fell in love with one of the Lennon sisters. Yeah. And this is where we're coming to. Patriots Super Gymnast, I apologize to you. I missed your game tonight. But I tell you, every time I watch you play, every time I watch you become a gymnast, my heart is just full with nothing but love and admiration for you. Don't forget the beer, David. I never forget the beer. Don't drink as much as I used to, but boy, when I do, it tastes so good. Patriot 7. Little Liam, I'll tell you this, you're one heck of a ball player. You're one heck of a football player. But basketball's my buddy, my pal, my fishing partner, you're not very good at. So what you need to do is just step back next year. I know you wanted to play this year because all your football buddies were playing. And it's done good because look at your team. You're undefeated, just like you were in football. I feel sorry for some of the teams that played you because I truthfully believe they put all the good players on your team and then they put you. And I hope you don't watch that. And if you do, you know I'm joking. I've already told you about Patriot Small Hank and Patriot Little Monkey. I'm telling you guys, she had a basketball game. And you ain't never seen a game until you've watched a 5-year-old, 10 5-year-olds go out there and play. They don't play basketball. I don't know if she touched the ball 3 times in that game yesterday, but she was out there doing gymnastics. She was out there doing jumping jacks. She was out there doing things that I didn't even know she could do. But you know what? She was having fun, and she felt like she was part of a team. And everybody just loves her. Her PE teacher looked at my daughter and said, why can't all kids be like your kids? They're so amazing. Patriot Kira is getting to the point where every time I walk in the house, she comes running, Grandpa, I love you, and gives me a big hug. And that's what it's about, kids. It's all about love and admiration. And we have so much of it in this family. Oh, Papa G went 87 days without beer. I don't know how long I went.
I went that long one time, I think.
Well, Ron once went 10 months without beer. And when I talk about beer, Robert, when I talk about beer, David, and Papa G, one voice, don't get me wrong, I'm not a big drinker. I used to be. There was a time I considered myself an alcoholic. And you know, they say once an alcoholic, you're always an alcoholic. I don't believe that. I believe God gives us the right to choose what we want to be. It's, do you want to choose? I believe when we get on these beds, you know, we're going to have the right to choose what we want to do. There's going to be some people, guys, I want to tell you something, John and David and Robert and Elaine. I want to tell you something. When these beds are made available, we're still going to lose loved ones because there's going to be loved ones that's going to say, I don't want to do it. And you're going to try to persuade them because you don't want to lose them. You want to live long, long, long lives with them. But there's going to be some that won't do it. You know, it's funny. Isn't it funny, David Duffy and Kevin? Isn't it funny that some of these people won't do it? But they were the first ones in line to get in a big C era. They was the first one to go in and get that in a big C area. They will listen to what these stupid doctors tell you, but they won't listen to something that can literally almost make you immortal. Wow. Can you imagine living in a world, Papa G, where whatever you want to eat, you just tell them and it's there. And from what I'm hearing, from what Sky Prince is hearing, because evidently she's tasted some of it. If you want a meat pie, you get a meat pie. If you want a bacon and eggs, you get bacon and eggs. But no animal parts will be used. But they make it in a way that it tastes even better. It's not like these Impossible Burgers at Burger King. You know what an Impossible Burger is? It's an Impossible Burger because it tastes nothing like a burger. It sucked. Excuse me, kids. By the way, the version of our kids' show is over. Kids, legally, you cannot watch this show unless you have the permission from your parents' grandparents or legal guardians. Every now and then, Patriot 5 uses a word that he shouldn't use, but I don't do it on purpose. And if you go back to my first shows, you'll see I used to use them words a lot. I was a factory worker, kids, and that was the way of the talk of the world. That's all I knew. I heard words. My mom said, you be respectful when you go there. You be respectful to these women because they're nice ladies. All the things that come out of this lady's mom. I went home one day and I said, Mom, I'm shaking my head. And she said, what's the matter, son? And I said, I heard some words today that I don't know what they mean. And I told her, and she said, don't you ever say them again. And don't you ever say them to a woman. I said, I didn't, Mom. They said them to me. And when they called me that, I didn't know how to respond because I didn't know what it was. I was a 19-year-old naive kid. All I wanted to do was put my 40, 50, or 60 hours a weekend, get my check, and on Friday night go to Jensen's. But kids, if your parents, grandparents, or legal guardians says it's okay, watch the show. If they don't. The music we play tonight, we have no legal rights to. We play it because it's kind of become our theme song, and we use it because we love it. I got to pull up something now, guys. Just bear with me a minute.
Make sure you tell them about the information.
What?
The information you use about the kids is,
I already did.
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, I already did.
As long as you said you did.
What?
Yeah, okay, as long as you said you did. I didn't hear it though, but that's okay. I probably don't hear lots of things that you say.
David Duffy said me this. TUANGNGO sent. The table is set. Blood Moon, March 3rd. Fireworks expected. PURIM, significance for them, but victory belongs to the light. Old wizards and witches won't enter the golden age. First big arrest incoming. Watch DC. Watch the world shift. It says that will happen and take place on March 3rd.
Almost 9 o'clock.
Huh?
It's almost 9 o'clock Eastern time.
Yeah.
Didn't we start this at 7?
I was 2 minutes after. David also said something that the EBS is already happening, so won't be watching it on TV. No, you won't see it on TV. You'll have to go through how they're going to do it. TV. And that's something I don't understand, David. That's something I don't understand, you guys, is why he hasn't taken down mainstream media news yet. That's the thing that really bothers me the most, is he hasn't taken it down. Oh, it's Elaine's birthday. I'm sorry. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Elaine. Happy birthday to you. Didn't I say Elaine, or did I say Elaine? Okay, whatever. I'm sorry. Thank you, Myrna. As we know, that gentleman that had the island, that his name started with a E, his list has been showed. And everybody says that the hat is on the list, but he's not, because they'll do whatever they can. And I tell you, if you want to have some fun, but some sickening things, go to TikTok and watch. There's people on there that they're constantly saying how he was just arrested. There's no way he can get out of it, that his vice president has turned on him and given all it. But yet you still see him. He takes a licking, but he keeps on ticking. Every time I turn on TikTok, somebody is arresting this man. Somebody is impeaching this man. How many times are they going to impeach this man and lose? They're idiots. Amber just informed me she took Ella to dinner tonight to celebrate her season. She's had a really good season, guys. She told me a couple days ago. She misses coming on here. Expert 1871.
Oh, they played tonight?
Yes. They really should do the EBS. I agree. I got to find. There we go. So here's Mark's morning update, 2/23/26. Remember, I still have great hopes for the month of February, don't you, Mark? Yes, I do. The rumors are obscene. There are conflicting stories coming out of the same groups, so it is obviously we have some information, disinformation going on. I have a couple of bond sources that very much believe that QFS spins up completely tomorrow. It's interesting because some of these same groups, some of these same groups I'm hearing report from a key individual on the bond side that they have been paid. One said, my buddy has been paid. What I am getting from some of the bigger bond groups and some currency groups, title sovereigns, is what they have great expectation for this week. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it's only Monday morning, and it's highly unusual to have this much static on Monday morning. So I'm hopeful. Bond groups and sovereigns are saying the same thing in regards to QFS for as early as tomorrow. On the bond side, they are being told that they will release them when they release the QFS, and they are told they are going to see the release tomorrow. Now, going on to that, guys, what I'm going to say, I have talked to Ron, and he's talked to me several times, Kevin and Robert. We have talked about, we did not think anything would happen until after the Olympics. I don't believe in the Olympics like I used to. I tell you guys, me and Ron used to get up when the Olympics would be on in the middle of the night. We'd go to bed early so we could get up and watch them because we didn't want to watch the replays. We wanted to see the United States of America win gold live. We didn't want to go to a site and see they've already won. It takes out all of the anticipation. This year, it's over. Last night, I think Ron turned the TV on, and maybe 10 seconds, we watched 10 seconds of the closing ceremonies. The only thing I can say I really watched was maybe for 5 minutes one time. I watched them got kids on the boards that they come down the mountains, seems like 100 miles an hour. They do flips. They go 50 feet in the air, and they do flips after flips after flips, and they land it, and they stick, and they go. I watched a little bit of that, and then I watched what is supposed to be the greatest man skater in the world literally blow it. Now, did he blow it because he got tight? He had such a lead. He just had to go out and skate. He didn't have to do nothing special. He didn't have to put a special move in. He just had to put a simple program together, go out there, not fall, and not land his jumps. That's all he had to do. He can do that in his sleep. And instead, he not only fell once, he fell twice, and he stumbled 2 other times. He went from a sure gold medal to finish in 8th place. Was that told? Was he under control? I believe so, because a man like that does not skate like that. I used to once think that skating was the most fabulous sport in the world at the Olympics. My mom absolutely loved the women skating. She would stay up. It didn't matter when. She had to watch the women skaters. It was the most beautiful, elegant thing. The men are powerful, but the women, they're elegant. But now you're having skaters come in. And the little girl that won, I'm happy for her. I didn't watch any of her, but she's from the United States. And she won gold. But then there's 2 other girls that didn't compete. Last 2022's winner didn't compete because of where she lives. And to me, the greatest woman skater in the world is Kamila Valieva. And they wouldn't let her compete. She was off of her suspension. A 15-year-old girl. This is how bad it gets. A 15-year-old girl was suspended for having drugs in her system, drugs that was caused by drinking her grandpa's water. She was suspended, and she fought through it, and she's back. And I watch videos of her all the time, and she is the greatest skater in the world. But it's all political, guys. In football, in other sports, if you want to win money, if you really want money, you just find out Vegas. You find out where Vegas is placing the money. And whatever game Vegas needs to win, these people do. They come out. One game they won this year because the team was being shut out. They were literally being shut out. They were being blown out. But it was a point spread that a field goal would win it, and Vegas would win all the money. 90% of the money was paid on the team that won. And they had it won. They had covered the spread, and Vegas would have lost a lot, but they didn't. We have to change things like this. We have to move forward. We have to get these things going. And that's what we have to do. Guys, my show tonight was a lot about trying to open eyes. It was a lot about stories, a little bit of information. I went an hour, and my throat is so dry right now, I'm having a hard time talking. So I'm going to put an end to tonight. One boy's first year, he did not watch the Olympics. I said altogether, I may have watched 15 minutes. I never used to miss it. But I have come to the point in my life that anything is involved with judging, it is rigged. Will DJT, will the hat, will our system fix it? So in 2030, we can all sit down and watch the beautiful girls skate. In 2030, we can watch all of it and root for our team, because we're going to be living in such a world. I don't believe there'll be cheating there. I believe if the hat would have wanted to do something, he would have done it this year. But I don't think he wanted to put the super bad name on this event, because it means so much to the world. They're getting ready to play the World Baseball. They're getting ready to play that before the season opens. I think it's amazing when all the teams from other countries get together and play and see who is the best. Who is the best of the best. But it's funny, because no matter how they get together, no matter how China brings a team together in baseball, no matter how Russia brings a team together, or the Ukraine, it doesn't matter what country, because when it comes down to it and people want to play baseball, it's always they want to come to the United States. It's the same thing as basketball. They always want to come to the United States. We live in the greatest country of the world. I believe it. I think Papa G believes it. I believe Kevin and John and Myrna and Expert and Myrna again. I just believe, guys. Janet, I know, believes it. Janet is an amazing woman, and I'm so happy that she's here with me, helping me every night. She makes my job so much easier. But guys, I'm going to go get something to drink. I'll be back Wednesday night. I truthfully believe, and I'm not saying this to bring you back, but I truthfully believe Tuesday night you should bring a guest, maybe two, because we may have some amazing news. I really believe that.
Maybe you'll know something on the State of the Union tomorrow.
And as Ron said, something could come out on the State of the Union. I hope he doesn't stand up there tomorrow night and be a politician. I hope he stands up there and becomes a man who has made promises. I really do. But I truthfully believe Wednesday and Friday night show is going to be big. Who knows? Maybe Tuesday night will be filled with so much love and joy that we know we're there. And Friday nights, maybe the night that we pass out the 800 numbers that everybody's already received, but I will tell them on a show here to make sure they get them. Maybe we'll come on earlier, maybe tomorrow night, maybe Thursday night, but we'll be here, guys. We've been here for almost 6 years, and we're not going away. I love you all. Good night. God bless, and we'll see you later.